Hello. How is everyone? Good day, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. Hello, hello, hello. So, I actually just was going to come on and do kind of a quick live this afternoon, and I was planning on coming on this evening and doing another live this evening. So, that's what I'm planning on doing. So, I know a lot of times things don't go as planned. Like just now when I lost my screen. There we go. Cat and K. Ooh, two similar names, only separated by one letter. Damn, I'm a good detective. Anyways, the main reason I was going to do a live this afternoon is I told you guys I had to go see that excuse me, lung specialist, that pulmonary doctor, from where I was hospitalized a couple times since September. And it was all good news. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's good news, but it's not bad news because they said they didn't find anything that I should technically worry about. They said my lungs look good. They x-rayed them today. They said my lungs sounded really good. Um, they think maybe it was just a really strong viral pneumonia that it took me a little while to kick out of my system, possibly. They're not for sure of that, but just from what everything their tests show, that's what their diagnosis is basically, uh, which I guess is good news in a way and kind of scary in a way too, because it really didn't like for sure. It's not like 100% diagnosed me, so that kind of like leaves the door open. But they said it's not COPD, it's not lung cancer. Um, they did some kind of genetic test. I didn't really understand that part of it, but they said that came back good. So he just told me to keep doing what I'm doing, quit smoking. I told him I had smoked some cigarettes. He said he knows it's a hard habit to quit. He said, but if and when I quit, it's only going to be better on my lungs. Um, and I agree with that. We are at the first of the year, so maybe I can try at the first of the year. And I do know I read somewhere it said somebody, on average, people that quit smoking try 7 times to quit before they actually finally quit, like 100% quit. And as I say that, I'm going to light a cigarette. Stupid, stupid. No, there's no other way to describe it except stupid. But I hope everybody's doing good today. So anyway, that I was going to update you guys on that. That went really well today. I don't even have to go back to see this guy unless something else happens. So that was pretty good. Um, like I said, they said it wasn't nothing bacterial or anything like that. So the antibiotics or anything like that, they discontinued those before I even left the hospital. Gosh, can't clear my throat. And they said that to go ahead and finish my steroids that I have, which I only have like one or two of those left. He said go ahead and finish those and then just kind of take it day by day. But he did X-ray my lungs today. He said they looked a lot better than they looked when I was in the hospital because he said they were filled with pneumonia when I was in the hospital. He listened to my lungs front and back side. He said they sounded really clear, sounded really good, which was good news. Like I said, it was all good. The only thing that I came out of there that I was not, really that happy about was the fact that they couldn't for sure say this is what it was. That's the only thing. Okay, Miss M, I will do. Um, I actually am feeling better, Casey. Feel a lot better, actually, especially from when I was in the hospital. Um, so But anyways, that's what I planned on doing, is coming on this afternoon and doing like a short live, and then coming back on this evening, maybe around 7. I was going to do a live last night. I actually planned on doing a live, and I got laying there watching TV, and I think I fell asleep before 8 o'clock last night. And then I woke up at like 2 in the morning, couldn't go back to sleep. I started to get on then, and I thought, well, nobody's going to be up this time of night, so I didn't. So I am starting to, look forward to doing YouTube again and enjoy it and things like that. So I think that's good. Like I said, I'm off work till the 4th of January, so we can probably do at least a live every day until then. And then I'm also on day shift. I get off it usually every day by like 4 o'clock. So, I mean, the schedule will work out really well. With all that being said, I watched another YouTube creator from Kentucky earlier, and I'm not going to say who it is, but he was talking about the election being stolen and things like that. Oh my gosh, there was 59 court cases thrown out. They keep saying there's this mountain of evidence that the election was stolen. I think if the election was stolen, um, that 59 of the court cases wouldn't have got thrown out. Just my opinion, but I just watched that earlier, and then I thought about it last night. AD, the way he talks to his subscribers is unbelievable. And not only does he talk to them that way, they stick by him, yet they pay him $10 to come and watch him in Patreon. So I just don't get that. I mean, the way he freaking went fucking ballistic last night, and he played a short video, and then he came back and he said that the main reason that he went off is because somebody had doxed him in his own chat, which, I mean, I don't know. Apparently, it had his address listed, and there was a threat. I didn't see it. I must have missed it. No, I haven't. Hillary, I sure haven't. I plan on it though. I was going to tell you guys about something else, and it just slipped my mind. There is a YouTube channel. I can't think of it right now, but I wrote down. When I do my live later on this evening around 7, I'm going to tell you guys the name of this YouTube channel. They report on AD's Patreon every night. Every night he does a Patreon. They do like a book report on it. They just have like a fireplace playing in the background, and they do the highlights of the whole Patreon show. And they do it hilariously. They really do. I think it's hilarious the way they do it. Hello, and they'll say, AD says hello, and then the guy's like, hello everyone. And to me, it's just really funny. But I'll give you the name of that channel later. Oh my God, he went freaking nuts last night. And he's like, I'm so passionate. He's like, I felt like Shanann's brother. He's like, I guess I know why Frankie goes off on me. So maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. And I mean, he said, I had all these emotions. I went on a roller coaster of emotions. But he really went freaking nuts last night. And then of course everybody followed him to Patreon. I don't get it, man. To talk to, if I talk to you guys like that, I would expect you to never watch me ever again, or I would at least hope that. And here's the funny thing. He said I'm mad. He's like, I don't want this KK woman being mentioned on my channel. But yet, just a week or so ago, he was inviting her on to debate, as he calls it. There would be no debate with him. As soon as you said something he didn't like or he didn't agree with, or she talked over him, he would kick her off. He would silence her, censor her somehow, mute her, talk over her. There would be no debate. That's probably why she doesn't come on. um, is because she probably knows this. And also the irony of this just blows my mind. Um, the fact that he says that KK ruined the communication between him and Chris by charging $20 for him to answer questions, and then he's like, "Join Patreon for $10 and follow me over, and I'll read this email on Patreon for $10 that I can't read on YouTube." Uh, Cat K says, "I wonder if your room has been checked for mold." That would be a good thing to ask. However, I was sick one time from my old house, and then I got sick one time while I was here. So it was in two different places. Yes, Amber, that's it. The channel's called Network. Oh, that what do you, have you any of you guys listened to them? I think they're hilarious. I like the way they do their channel. Hello, AD welcomes his patrons. It's just, if you haven't watched Network, go type in the channel Network and check them out. I think they're really really good comedy wise. Um, and another thing that I really pissed me off last night. I get a lot of humor out of a lot of stuff he does, but something he really pissed me off is when he said that KK ruined Christopher Watts' Christmas. No, he ruined his own fucking Christmas when he murdered his beautiful family. So let's just get that shit out there straight right now, AD. Nobody ruined his own Christmas except him, and he's right where he deserves to be, regardless of how much you're falling in love with him. Yeah, Copenhagen girl, that's my point exactly. He bitches and says that this KK woman has ruined the communication because she charges $20 to answer questions, but yet then he'll say join Patreon for $10 and follow me over, and I'll read this email that I've got from him. And apparently he's got a live coming up here within the next hour where he's saying that CW's email privileges have been reinstated. No, JD. AD says that KK ruined Chris Watts' Christmas. I'm like, no. Chris Watts ruined his own Christmas by murdering his family 2 years ago. It's just disgusting that he thinks that way. You know, he says he's for justice, that's this, that, and the other, but I swear to God, I think he's falling in love with Chris Watts. I mean, he's, oh, we've established community. He's like, when it's delusions of grandeur. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but go look that shit up, and it's real. Because every time they're reading something where he hears supposedly, I don't believe the shit for a minute, Christopher Watts mention his channel, his YouTube channel, what have you, that he creams his pants right there in front of us every time it's mentioned. It's unbelievable. It's sickening. It's disgusting, and it makes me want to puke in my own fucking mouth. But it's just unbelievable how he looks at things and rationalizes things, and says that these people have ruined his Christmas, and he's like, oh, poor Chris has a hard time at Christmas being in prison. Oh, that's the fucking point. They don't put you in prison so you'll have a better life. They put you there because you've done something you need to be there for most of the time. And in this case, yeah. Regardless if they ever find out if he had accomplices with him, he does not ever need to be out of prison in his life. For number one, the fact that he didn't do anything to stop it. That right there. I tell you what, if I even knew someone was going to hurt my daughter or my son, they would have to kill me before they got to them. And I would never fall in love with a woman like NK to the point that I would want my children hurt. I would never trade my children for a relationship with a woman. Period. Point blank. Ever. 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 And that's just my point of view. Point of views on it, guys. I'm not trying to gripe and bitch like he does, but it just makes me sick when I hear somebody say that KK ruined his Christmas. Like, are you serious? And like I said, he, honest to God, creams his pants every time he hears they say, "Oh, Chris Watts, the AD." If those two are mentioned together, and I swear to God, he keeps saying this girl is legit, she's real. I swear to God, I think she's playing him like a fiddle because she's saying everything he wants to hear in these um, emails. He's supposed to be sending her to her for him to get the message from, or for her to read to him. I don't know, guys. I have no idea. Um, yeah, Don Break, you're exactly right. It's it's he's okay. For instance, this is just one example. Shanann was hauled away in the red car, but she was hauled away in the back of the truck in a tarpaulin or under a tarp. Um, it's either one way or the other. She couldn't have been hauled away in two places at once. So when he says one thing and then the next day says another, he's contradicting himself. And let me ask you this, guys, real quick. Can you all hear me better today? Because I noticed on my last live that my sound was really low, and I've changed some settings on my microphone. So if you can, let me know if the sound's okay. Hillary Jane, I have asked that same question 100 times. What kind of woman wants to write to Chris Watts? Thank you, Julie. Appreciate that. Well, Husky Ralph just said something about the vaccine. I'm going to get the vaccine, and only because here's my reason behind it. People say, "Well, there's no telling what's in it," and that's true. There is no telling what's in it. But I've taken a flu shot every year since 2002. If the government wanted to inject something into my body, um, I don't think they would launch a worldwide pandemic just to make it happen. They could easily just one year stick something in the flu shot, bang it in my arm, and be done with it. And that's just my opinion on that. And I know you guys have your own opinion. We all have our right to have our own opinion on it. That's just mine. Uh, the main reason is I want the vaccine is so we can start having our bodies fight this virus off, and we can get rid of these damn masks. These masks aggravate the shit out of me. Somebody told me, and now, like I said, this is, how people tell you stuff all the time. Um, that wearing a mask like that all the time can cause pneumonia, and that's basically what's happened to me twice since September. I've had basically pneumonia twice, um, and I wouldn't have thought twice about it. But yet, if somebody tells you something like that, and then it happens to you twice, you start to wonder, well, is that correct? Is that true? I've tried to do some research on it, but can't really find nothing. You'll read one study from one university, and then another university will have a study that'll either contradict it or it won't agree completely. So you don't know what to believe, what's out there that's right. It's just, if it ain't one damn thing, it's another. And now they've got what's called COVID-19 variant. It's like B119 or some shit like that. It's a different strain of this COVID-19. They've got 2 cases in Colorado, of all places, Colorado. Um, so they did say, like I said, you gotta believe what you want to believe in this day and time from what you can read and the research you can do, because everybody will say, well, go to Google. Well, you can get so many different answers on Google that what do you believe on Google? Google's a great thing to have, don't get me wrong. When I was a kid, we called it Encyclopedia Britannica. We had to actually go get a book and look it up. And it only updated like once a year or something. So it's a lot better than it was than when I was a kid. But at the same time, not everything you read on Google's right. And you find so many, like you'll type in one thing on Google and ask a question, and it'll say, there are 1,479,000 results for your question. So, yeah, okay, I seen that. I seen that, like, you can't even fly into the U.S. from the U.K. unless you have a negative COVID test. I tell you what, we're living in some crazy times right now, people. Crazier than I've ever seen it, and I'm 44 years old, so I'm damn near half a century old, and I've never seen it like this. And what bothers me is like the kids. For instance, my daughter, 14 years old. She went to school one day last March. They sent them home, and they haven't been back since. Maybe a time or two that they've called off since then. But for the most part, that's just everybody's life's been thrown upside down. There's nothing consistent right now. Things are locked down. I don't know. Well, Alyssa, that's a good, Lisa, however you pronounce it, I'm sorry. They gave me a pneumonia vaccine the day I left the hospital. Um, and they said I would need it every 5 years. So I don't know if that's maybe a different vaccine than your son gets, but they said mine would be good for 5 years. No, Emma Jane, they tested me. You're going to think I'm lying when I tell you this. I was in the hospital twice, and they tested me 9 times for COVID because they kept saying that they knew it was COVID. I was just getting a negative test. They were testing me too soon. It wasn't quick enough to be a positive test yet. So basically, they tested me almost 5 times each time I was in there, but every time my test came back negative. It's just, guys, I tell you what, I don't know what to believe. And that's just being, that's not me trying to act like I know more than anybody else or act like I'm smarter than anybody else, because I'm not. I'm probably dumber than most. When I say, I'll just admit that I don't know what the hell to believe right now. As crazy as that sounds. Oh my gosh, Dawn. Damn, that is. Dawn says her husband flies from every hospital in the entire nation to prepare the COVID units. My family has only seen my husband on Saturdays since January. That's awful, Dawn. I don't know. It's crazy times. That's definitely for sure. It's definitely strange, crazy, interesting times right now. Yeah, I'm going to stop smoking, Emma. I'm going to stop. I know I am. It's just, here's the thing. And I told my doctor this earlier today, the pulmonary doctor, when I went and seen him. He said, "Well, didn't you quit for?" I said, "Yeah, I quit for like 3 weeks completely. Didn't even take a puff off one." He said, What happened?" Well, here's the thing, and this is just straight up. I'm off work till January 4th. I'm sitting here with nothing to do. There's nowhere to go because everywhere's locked down. You can't go out to eat. You can't go to the movies. Um, I'm off work, so I don't have work to go to right now. Luckily, I'm getting paid because we're on Christmas shutdown, but I'm sitting here with nothing. So I get bored, and the first thing I want to do is I want a cigarette. And that's just straight up with you guys. So, Julie, I don't think so. Um, just for the simple fact, this happened to me back in like September and October, November, something like that, or September and December. I've been hospitalized twice since September. Actually, I know when it was in September. It was a week after my birthday. I went in the hospital on September 9th, and I got released on the 13th. It was Friday the 13th. Sarah says for me to start knitting. I don't know if I could do that or not. I I know that once I get back to work after the first year, when I actually have something to do and my mind's on something else, that you know, you guys. I hope you understand what I mean. I don't know if any of you guys. I know some of you guys are smokers, former smokers. I've been, open with you guys about drug addiction, everything. Smoking cigarettes is the hardest habit I've ever tried to quit. Ever. Hello, Jose. Oh, and just so you guys know, I'm not going to stay on very long today, maybe 45 minutes or so. But I plan on coming back on tonight around 7 or 8 and doing another live, just because, like I said a few minutes ago, just don't have anything to do right now. And here's another thing with my daughter. They're not in school right now, but you guys know she's in marching band, but they're having marching band practice. They're having it 3 times a week. So Nicorette spray. I tried that Nicorette gum, and it uh, tasted and felt like I was swallowing tobacco spit, and I couldn't handle that. Ron, I smoke and cannot stop trying to stop. Well, I said earlier, I read somewhere that the average person who quits smoking cigarettes tries quitting 7 times before they're actually successful. Okay, thank you, Miss Ann. I'll give it a shot. No, I don't vape, and I don't want to. My son, he told me to vape, but I don't want to pick up another habit because it's almost as expensive as smoking. Well, Julie, that's a good point. Julie says she's not ready to quit. Uh, really, and I tell people this. I believe I've even told you guys this. I enjoy smoking in a way. Um, I don't know. Hello, Lisa. Long time no see. Thank you. I've heard of that hypnosis stuff, Sarah, and I've thought about that, but at the same time, I'm kind of scared to be hypnotized. It's crazy, isn't it? I'll pull tobacco smoke into my lungs for 30 years, but I'm scared to be hypnotized. Makes a lot of freaking sense, don't it? Sanity sticks. That's a pretty good word for them. Thank you, Hippie Chick 74. Appreciate that. Sarah says it worked wonders for her. She quit drinking too. Well, hell, what? I mean, you know, if you people talk about they quit drinking, they quit smoking, they quit having sex. I mean, what do these people do after they quit all this shit? What do they do really? There's only so much stuff you can do around the house. Watch TV, play on the internet, and things like that. I definitely, I've told you guys this in the past week or so. Um, I'm in the process of looking to buy me a house, and I do not want to smoke in my new house. So I can almost guarantee 100% that before I get into my new house, I will quit smoking because I don't want cigarette stains and stuff on my walls at my house. Even though I don't care to have it in an apartment or a motel room, I don't want it at my house. And I'll probably, have all new furniture and everything like that. I don't want nicotine stain because, really, um, I hate the like the smell of it and the like. If you hang a picture up on a wall and then you smoke for a couple of years and you don't move that picture, and then you move that picture, um, I mean, you can see right on the wall where that picture hung, where the nicotine didn't stick to the wall. So that just tells you, um, you know, what's it doing to the inside of your lungs? I mean, think about that. If the wall looks like that after a couple of years of a picture being there, what does your lung look like? What do your lungs look like after 10 years of smoking, 2 years of smoking? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's raining really hard here right now. Well, that doctor I went to today, he came in the hospital and seen me when I was hospitalized. And he told me, he said, look, every time you go to smoke that cigarette, think about how you laid in that hospital bed and couldn't get your breath and couldn't breathe. And I mean, it's true. I know it's true. Everything they tell me, I know is true. And I tell you something that really, literally does kind of aggravate me is the nurse will come in and be like, do you smoke? And you'll say, yeah, I smoke. She'll be like, you really need to quit. And then you'll look out the back window and see her out there smoking. I'm like, what? Really? Jesus. Yeah, it's just if I 100% for sure quit, I don't want to pick up vaping or another habit. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I'm trying to read some of you guys' comments. Yeah, here right now here in Kentucky, you can't even go out to a restaurant and eat in the dining room right now. Uh, you can't even go inside to the counter and order food. You can either call and order it and have it brought out curbside, or you can go through the drive-through, or you can have it delivered like through Grubhub or Uber Eats or one of those food delivery services. But one thing that I don't understand is they've got all these rules in place um, about places being shut down and things like that. But yet you can go to Walmart and there'll be 500 people in there. I don't get that. If you're bored, Ron, you can write to CW, make AD jealous. Negative. I wouldn't write to CW if he was the last man on earth. What he done to his children sickens me to the core against him. And for him to sit there and worry about what people think of him is disgusting. He he words can't even describe how I feel for that man, and then what I would do to him if I see him somewhere. You, you know what they should do? They should put him in like an aquarium and fill it with oil, not enough to kill him, just enough to have him, suffer in it. And every day for the rest of his life, just have him in that. When he, gets sick to the point where he's almost ready to die, pull him out, stick him on some antibiotics, get him well, run him through the process again. And you all might say, "Damn, Ron, that's cruel as fuck." Well, what he did to his daughters was cruel as fuck too, in my opinion. And then he deserves everything that he gets. Well, damn, Emma Jane. I gotta read this out loud, guys, because this is just too good. I quit sex when I threw my hubby out 7 years ago, so I'm feeling like a nun right now. I've had offers, but after my experience, no way. Just friends, and it's a shame because I'm gorgeous and great at it, too. Laugh my ass off. I just had to read that one out loud. Hello, Jan. Love the comment, Emma. Great, great comment. I love it. It's awesome. Yeah, Hillary, dunk his head in it a couple times every day. That's my opinion. Hey, I like when people are straight up honest, Emma. Don't get me wrong. Oh, don't talk tears. Us near Manchester are going into Tier 4 tonight for midnight. First time since all this began in March. I tell you what, and I don't know if you guys in other countries are familiar with Dr. Fauci, Anthony Fauci, but he's like the doctor here that does the White House briefings and things like that here in the States. And he made a comment this morning. He thinks it's going to get worse before it gets better. I honestly thought where the vaccine had come out that we would start seeing. But here's the thing, guys, and you all can say I'm wrong, say I'm crazy. We don't have to agree. We're all adults here. They keep telling us, don't travel, don't go anywhere. We know you want to see your family. It's Thanksgiving, but don't you want to see them next year? And yet 80 million people traveled. So, and most of the time, the 80 million that traveled will be the 80 million people complaining about being on lockdown next week on Facebook. So it doesn't, they contradict themselves, and then it doesn't make sense. And I'm not talking about the doctors, I'm talking about the people who bitch about being on lockdown and stuff, but then they won't listen to the recommendations. And I'm not saying the recommendations are right. We don't know. This is kind of all new to us. I mean, we're learning stuff every day. Hopefully, hopefully we're learning the right things and making the right decisions with what we learn. But we've got about 8 months under our belt of this pandemic, and with what they've learned in those 8 months, they're giving us directives. And a lot of people are saying, well, they're taking our freedoms away from us. You know, I don't think so. I think, like I said, if they wanted to do that, they have other ways to do it besides launching a worldwide pandemic. Um, if they tell us, don't travel, we know you want to see your family, everybody does, but don't you want to see them next year? If you travel, it could start a spreading event. They could spike the numbers, and your family might not be here next year. And 80 million people travel. So that there stuff like that doesn't make sense to me. That's true, Jesse. Dead people don't have freedoms. It's madness. I can't make sense of it. My dad passed on the 23rd of December and hadn't seen him since March of 2020. Where has the humanity gone? Yeah, guys, when I was in the hospital here a while back, even though I tested negative for COVID, like I told you guys, they swore up and down that I had COVID, even though I was tested negative for it. So they had me on the COVID unit, which made me nervous because if in the end, when I didn't have COVID, I was still in the COVID unit. So, and these people are dying with no family, no friends, nobody at their bedside to be with them. These people are dying alone. Have you had a PE, pulmonary embolism, symptoms? Yeah, they actually did a CAT scan on me where they run this some kind of dye uh, through my lungs while they did a CAT scan, and they said they was checking for blood clots and PEs, and they said I didn't have either. Hello, Ange. Good morning. Just so you know, Ange, I've been on about 45 minutes, and I'm not gonna be on much longer, but I'm gonna do another live later this evening, probably around 7 or 8, just so all you guys know. Be something for us to do if you guys want. These drinks right here are new. Coca-Cola Energy. They've got regular Coke, Cherry Coke, Coke Zero, and one other. I can't think what the other one is. Uh, but they're probably the best energy drink of it. They taste almost exactly like, if you like Coke, they taste like regular Coke and Cherry Coke to me. I like Cherry Coke and regular Coke. I don't like the Coke Zero. Um, but they're brand new out, and I like them. Well, JD, I'm not sure, but just to let you know, it's 10 minutes till 5 right now, so it'll be about 2 to 3 hours. I'll put up I'll put it up about an hour before I go live that I'm going live. So if I go live at 7, I'll try to get it up around. Uh, I'll have the notification up hopefully around 6. So just keep an eye out for it. If I go up at 8, mainly I know you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I want to watch and see what AD does tonight. If he does something really good, we might do a parody. So it's 10 to 10 in the UK, so a couple 3 hours. Come on in, Jan Rocks. You're welcome. You know that. Yeah, I know, and I seen that. Now I do like Red Bull. Don't get me wrong. I drink some. You guys know I'm not a drinker, but oh shoot, a couple of years ago maybe, we all had some drinks, and I drank Red Bull and Jägermeister, and I got sick off of it. And I don't know about you guys, but once I get sick off any alcoholic drink, I can never drink it again. And I can still think about, like, look at a Jägermeister bottle and get that taste back in my mouth and in my throat, and I can almost feel myself start dry heaving. It's awful. It says it's got Coke, uh, Geronima, B vitamins, and caffeine. But it's brand new. It just came out. They have regular Coke, cherry Coke, Coke Zero, and they have another kind. I can't think of what it is. But I really like them. If you guys haven't seen them or what have you, if you want to try one out, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. I can't drink tequila because I got sick off of it one time. I can't drink Jägermeister because I got sick off of it one time. Well, really, I shouldn't say that because you guys know, I'm not a drinker anyway. I don't even drink beer. I mean, hardly ever. Like, I might take a drink once in a blue moon, and that would just be because we're sitting around and everybody's having a drink. And that'd be the main reason why. Like tomorrow night when it's New Year's Eve, I won't even drink. I won't even have a glass of champagne. I mean, me and my daughter sometimes we'll get that fake sparkling champagne, or she's underage. You know, that you get it at Walmart, and it's basically for kids to celebrate the New Year's. Well, let's teach them how to drink. So we might do that, but other than that, no. Hell, I might even be in bed at midnight tomorrow night. I might try to start drinking a lot of water after the first year. Bye, JD. Thank you. Glad to be back. Come on back on earlier. Oh no, she's allowed to, Jan. Just what I was saying earlier. They're actually having. She's in marching band, um, and even though they're not in school right now, they are having marching band pretty much 3 days a week. So, oh no, she's allowed to. Trust me on that. Nothing will ever stop that. Believe me. Hello, Anna. Sure will. Will do, Jan. Bloody Mary lover here. Ooh. All right, I'll try to. You know how she is. She don't much like this YouTube stuff. Her and her friends, they do that TikTok stuff. I don't know if you guys know what that is. They get on there and they lip sync and they dance and all kinds of stuff like that. Alcohol free bubbly. Have a little bit of the bubbly, as Chris Jericho says. A little bit of the bubbly. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go watch this other YouTube show we all talk about. And then I'll be back on around 7 or 8. Keep your eyes peeled, and we'll have something to do this evening. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys. Bye, y'all.